Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 31 of What If Naruto Was Trained to be a Mercenary. Remember to get this 1 to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also on my second channel, I posted a new episode of What If Naruto was the next stage of 6th Path, so go ahead and check that out and enjoy. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto got a new bloodline. So switch across and enjoy that as well. And after this, I'm gonna be posting What If Naruto was not Sasuke. So stay in tune and check out that. And if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, what exactly are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family and be a part of the channel. And thank you all for your support and help. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So last time we left off, Team Kitsune Flash exited the cave as they went towards the Sand Village for the mission. When they arrived at the sand, Gaara told them about the disease, as Sakura went to help the medical team. So Naruto and Ino and Hinata then went in the chambers of the council room, where Naruto told them all about the Akatsuki and that the Akatsuki are gathering the tail beast, and there is a high chance that the Akatsuki will come here and take Gaara. So Naruto decided to help them out, as he said that he will be Gaara's bodyguard, since if any Akatsuki members came here, he will take them down. Gaara agreed with this, and that was the last part we left off. So if you guys haven't yet, switch across the playlist and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We come straight back into the council room, as Kitsune told them that they have another thing to discuss. And what might that be? Baki asks. What else do we have to discuss? Yura asks. I would like to know as well, said Gaara. Well, you all know that Akatsuki's travel in pairs, and it will be very hard for two lonely members to infiltrate a village and capture the Kazekage just like that. It doesn't matter how strong they are. And what is your point, Kitsune? Baki asks. My point is, since it is nearly impossible for two Akatsuki members to enter the village without being detected and capture the Kazekage, they would need some inside help, said Kitsune. Inside help? Are you saying? Gaara then paused, as he feared for the worst. Yes, there is a traitor among us, and I have a feeling that he's right in this room, Kitsune said. What? Baki said in shock. A traitor? Gaara said. There's a traitor in here? That's impossible, said Chiyo. It's impossible for a Akatsuki spy to be inside of this council chamber, Yura said. Not to fear, because I will find out who is the traitor with a little help from my team member. Mistress, do your thing. Mistress nodded as she activated her Byakugan, as she gazed on every member as he saw their chakra system until she saw something out of the ordinary. She was gazing on some type of paper tag on someone's head. She gasped in shock, pointing at Yura. It's him. What? Yura is a traitor? Baki said in shock. What is this? Is this true, Yura? Are you working for the Akatsuki? Lady Chiyo asked. It's not true. I am not a traitor. I would never betray my village and my Kazekage for the Akatsuki. It's a lie, Yura said, as he was in shock as well. Mistress and Temptress walked up to him, with Mistress still had her Byakugan on. What are you doing? Asked Yura, as he was scared. Calm down, said Temptress. Are you sure that it's him? Yes, it is him. I can see some kind of paper seal on his head, and I see that it's connected to his chakra and his brain. Temptress nodded, knowing exactly what Mistress is talking about. I see, it must be a mind control seal. What are you talking about? Asked Yura. Very clever, no doubt this is Akatsuki doing. Having someone under mind control to have free access to the village. Very clever indeed, Akatsuki, Kitsune said with a grin. Kitsune, please explain yourself. What is going on here? Asked Gaara calmly. Well, my team member Temptress can explain better. Temptress, they're all yours, said Kitsune. No problem everyone, and council member, this man right here has a mind control seal placed on his head. It's a tool to have complete control of a person and have everything, controlling their every actions. The one who places a seal on his head can activate it by just making the right hand sign. Once the seal activated, the victim has no choice. He or she will be under total control, just like a puppet. So, if Akatsuki is responsible for placing the mind control seal on Yora, then they can activate it by now, Baki said. Mistress, do you see the mind seal glowing with chakra? Asked Temptress. Mistress looked at Yora. No, the seal is normal. Why do you ask? It means that the mind control seal haven't been activated yet, so Yora is still itself for now, Temptress said. Myself? I don't understand what you're talking about, Yora said. It's alright, Yora. It's not your fault. However, I do know about the mind control seal because it's a technique that I developed myself, Lady Chio said. What? You created this, Lady Chio? Asked Baki. Lady Chio nodded. Yeah, but don't get it wrong. I didn't place a mind control seal on Yora. But I am guessing someone else from the sand must have placed it on him. However, placing this seal takes a lot of time. I doubt that it was just placed on him recently. What do you mean, Chio? Asked Gaara. I am guessing that Yora must have that mind control seal on him for a long time, maybe even years. That would make sense if that person was from the sand and he left the village a long while back before placing the seal on Yora, and then he joined the Akatsuki, Kitsune said. That would explain someone from the Akatsuki knowing about the mind control seal, but do we even know who it could be? Asked Baki. Everyone stood quiet as they couldn't think who the ninja could be that was from the sand that joined the Akatsuki, while Lady Chio was in deep thought as she only knew one person that is capable of doing this. But that person couldn't possibly be a part of the Akatsuki. It couldn't be him. Baki then speak. I don't think it matters who is responsible for placing that seal on Yora, but what should we do with him if the seal activate? If that happens, he could attack our ninjas and he could prepare the village for the Akatsukis to come here and take Gaara, Chio said. Gaara turned to Kitsune. Kitsune, I am open for any suggestions. I am glad you asked me that, Kazekage, because I have a plan. But for it to work, Yora has to keep the mind seal on his head. What? Asked Yora. Don't worry, Pops. I am from the Yamanaka clan. We specialize in any techniques that involve the mind. I can dispel and remove the mind control seal from your head, Temptress said. Gaara nodded along with the rest of the council. Tell us about this plan of yours. Time skip. Mistress was standing on top of the mountain summit of the village. It was the highest point where she had a full view of the entire village. She was using her Byakugan to search for the Akatsuki, but she wasn't really concentrating on her mission. She couldn't get the words out of her head about what happened to the council meeting when it came about the topic of the Jinjuriki. She was dying to know about the Biju's extraction and why they were all keeping it a secret, and why was her leader keeping that secret as well. As she had a horrible feeling in her stomach. She knew about Naruto being a Jinjuriki, and she didn't like her leader keeping a secret from her and the rest of her teammates. Maybe he didn't trust them after all. The secret might be worse than him being the container of the Kyuubi. Naruto, what are you hiding from us? What are you hiding from me? Her Byakugan eyes softened, thinking about her leader. How is it going? Said a voice. As she turned to see Kitsune landing right beside her. Everything is going well. I haven't spotted any movement from the Akatsuki. That's good. This is a perfect spot to scout out the entire sand village and keep a lookout for the Akatsuki. I just have a feeling that they will come after Gaara, Kitsune replied. What about Huntress? Mistress asked. She will remain in the hospital until she come up with a cure for the sand disease. I guess we will have to do this mission without her. She won't like that. You know she doesn't like to be left out from missions. Right now, she have her own mission to save the lives of those innocent people. And I'm sure she won't argue with the real Kitsune. What? Real Kitsune? Mistress asks, looking at her leader confused. Oh, yeah, I'm just a shadow clone. The real Kitsune is taking care of something right now, the clone said. I see. As she stood quiet, dying to ask him about the Biju extraction. Should I ask him about it now? Well, better go for it. Kitsune, wait. What's wrong? The clone asks. I want to ask you something, it is important. She tried not to start nervous. Sure, what is on your mind? It is about the Biju's extraction. The clone stood quiet as he just looked at her. As he then spoke, what about it? I just want to know, is it dangerous for the human host to lose their Biju when it is extracted? The shadow clone felt like shouting in frustration. He has been avoiding that question from his team since the council meeting. He knew exactly what was going to happen, but he wasn't ready to tell them, knowing that it would make them worried sick about him. This was a secret he's planning on keeping from them for a while, just like his heritage, even though he really wanted to tell them. I better get going, I have things to do, the clone replied. But Kitsune. Bye, the clone said as he jumped off of the roof. Mistress watched him leave, as she felt her heart being broken, as she was hurt and disappointed. He didn't tell her, so that is obvious. He didn't trust me. Naruto. Why? She muttered to herself. In the village street, Kankuro and Temari were running through the village with a large group of Chunin. They just got orders that the Akatsuki might come here and try to capture Gaara, and they won't let that happen. After their little brother, Gaara, started changing for the better after Naruto's speech that he gave him. They won't let that happen. Temari growled. I won't let them take you, Gaara. As they told all of the Chunins to spread out. Time skip. At the entrance of the sand, the Chunin's guards has increased security through the past few hours since they know about the threat of the Akatsuki coming, trying to kidnap their Kazekage. As there was a Chunin looking out to the horizon as he had binoculars, trying to see if he can see any Akatsuki members coming. But so far he hasn't seen anything yet. He then gasped as he spotted something in the far distance. He turned pale as he saw the clothing. It matched perfectly what they were told about the Akatsuki's war. He gave the order for the other Chunin to sound the invasion alarm, but no one answered him. He turned around as he gasped in shock, as every single one of the guards were dead. Suddenly, he was stabbed by a couple of kunais as he fell to the ground dead. The murderer was none other than Yura, who was now dressed in a Sand Jonin uniform. Deidara and Sasori finally arrived at the entrance as they saw all of the dead bodies of the Chunin's guard. Yura, said Sasori, seeing that his human puppet has done his job better than he expected. Yes, Sasori, welcome. Everything has been taken care of, replied Yura. Good, then all we need to do is take care of the Jinchuriki, replied Sasori. Deidara then took some clay from his pouch as his hands were chewing them. Let's not waste any time, said Sasori. Yura nodded. Follow me. The Sand Jonin led the Akatsuki members through the long path until they reached a village. Deidara then released a small clay bird as he threw it on the ground. It then poof as it turned into a large bird. I should warn you that they have patrol on the ground, so it's not just the ear scouts you have to watch out for, Yura said. That is alright, they will never spot me until it's too late, said Deidara. Deidara, do not underestimate the one tail, Sasori said. That Jinchuriki won't know what hit him. Don't keep me waiting, Deidara, Sasori said. Deidara removed his straw hat as he then flew off with his bird. Deidara then used the thing on his eye as he saw the scouts. He then reached to his clay pouch as he then allowed his hands to chew on the clay. As he dropped clay spiders down, as the spiders crawled up on the Jonins, as they then jumped on their face and exploded. It wasn't a really big explosion, but it was powerful enough to take them down, killing them. Once the scouts were out of the way, Deidara flew ahead as he fly right through the sand village. There it is, the wind tower. The Kazekage's office is in that building. Time to pay him a visit, Deidara said. The giant clay bird started to fly towards the building as he used his telescope to check if there were any guards. He grinned as he didn't even see one security in the room. As he looked through the windows of the tower, as he then saw Gaara at his desk doing some paperwork. Finally found you, Deidara said. The clay bird then slowly attached itself to the wall as Deidara made some giant peacocks. I decided to use C1 level chakra for the explosion, so it will take a lot of damage but not kill him. As the peacocks went in, as he made a hand sign as there was an explosion, the whole wall of the office came crumbling down as the explosion was big enough for everyone to see it. Sand ninjas started to move towards the wind tower while the scout team that was led by Kankuro saw the whole thing. Deidara grinned evilly as he entered the office as the smoke faded. He saw Gaara, who was down for the count and he was bleeding. As he frowned, he wanted to at least fight the one tail, but he was already down. He then went over towards Gaara's body as he let his clay bird pick up Gaara's body with a tail. It was now like a large claw. As he flew out of the building, heading towards the exit where his partner Sasori was waiting for him. Mission complete. The one-tailed Shikaku has been captured, he said, with a smirk on his face. But when Deidara was flying through the village, he noticed an army of sand shinobis ready to attack. Baki, Kankuro, and Temari all glared as they saw Gaara has been captured. As they glared at Deidara, who was smiling down on them all as he was ready to leave. You fools, you're all too late. There is nothing you guys can do. Temari quickly took her large fan as she was almost in tears as she opened it. There was no way she was going to allow that criminals to take away her little brother. As the army of Chunin and Jonins had taken out their shurikens ready to throw them at the enemy, Baki gasped, "No, wait! Don't attack. You might hurt the Kazekage." Everyone stood their ground. They know he was right. They could probably ended up killing Gaara in the process. As Deidara smiled as he flew off with Gaara. Time skip. Sasori gasped as he saw his partner return so soon with the injured Kazekage. "You're back, Deidara. Already? Why are you so surprised? I told you that the one-tailed Shikaku was nothing compared to me. My art is wonderful," said Deidara. Sasori looked at him. As Yura then spoke, "Sasori, you should leave before the sand forces get here." "Yura, you should leave here as well," said Sasori. Yura nodded as he vanished. "Let's go, Deidara." "Right." As Deidara put his straw hat back on, as they start to walk out. Now that they captured their target, they need to regroup in one of the many Akatsuki's hideout. Back in the village, Baki, Kankuro, Temari were running through the village as they hoped that it was still time they could save their brother. As Baki then stopped. "Why are you stopping, Baki?" Temari shouted. "Yeah, we need to go after Gaara. We can't let those bastards get away with this." "Listen, even though we increase our speed, it is no use. I am sorry to say it, but they are far away from the village already, and you know this. No, we can't give up. We can't let them take Gaara," Temari said. Finally, Kankuro became angry, as then he noticed someone was missing. "Hey, where the hell is Kitsune Flash? You were supposed to protect Gaara. Where is he?" "It's alright, Kankuro," said a voice. Everyone gasped as they turned around and they were in shock. as they saw Gaara, not even a scratch on him. As Temari and Kankuro run up to him, "Gaara, you're here!" Baki then smiled at the siblings' reunion. "It seems the plan worked after all," he said. As Kankuro asks, "Alright, what the hell is going on? I thought the Akatsukis take you." "Here to explain what is going on?" said Temari as she was still in shock to see her little brother. "Like I said, everything is alright," said Gaara. "But wait, if you're here, then who is the one that the Akatsukis take?" Kankuro asks, as Gaara just looked at him, as Kankuro quickly snapped into reality. So that was his plan all along. As Gaara nodded, "It's alright. Kitsune Flash has everything under control." With Deidara and Sasori. Sasori and Deidara were still traveling through the sand, trying to reach a checkpoint where they could go to one of the many hideouts of the Akatsukis. Suddenly, the tail that was holding Gaara burst as Gaara flipped out as he landed a few feet away from them. "What? How are you able to still move? I thought I knocked you out," said Deidara, as Gaara grinned. "Actually, you two are in for it now," he spoke in a voice that wasn't the Kazekage's. "What?" said Sasori, and there was a poof. As, when the smoke cleared, Gaara was no longer there. It was Kitsune Flash. "What? You?" said Deidara in pure shock. "Kitsune Flash, so you were in the sand after all." No wondered why the one-tailed Jinchuriki was so easy to defeat. "But that can't be. I used C1 chakra for the detonation. The blast was strong enough to break at least few of your bones." "I can't believe you two were former ninjas. Don't you know that you should always look under the underneath?" "What?" said Deidara. "What you didn't see is that I used a shadow clone to transform into Gaara in the office, and when the explosion hit, I jumped in." "But you had blood on you," Deidara asked as he was angry. Kitsune grinned as he took out a small bottle of red ink, shocking Deidara as Sasori just looked over at his partner as he couldn't believe that he had such an idiot partner to fall for that. But he didn't say anything because he kinda fall for it as well. "And don't worry, your partner wasn't the only one that was fooled," said Kitsune as he looked at Sasori. "What are you talking about?" Then, poof! When the cloud of smoke vanished, Temptress and Mistress were next to Kitsune ready to fight. "Don't look so surprised, you should know that I wasn't traveling alone," replied the masked mercenary. Temptress grinned at Sasori. "You never noticed the guards at the entrance of the village. If you would have taken a closer look, you would have noticed that they weren't real." "What?" Now it was Sasori's turn to become shocked. "Yeah, none of it was real. It was all a genjutsu I cast. The real guards left their position." Mistress nodded as she looked at Deidara. "That's not all. The scouts that you supposedly killed, they were not real either," as Deidara growled. "So, they were genjutsu too?" "No, they were all shadow clones I summoned and let them transform. You thought that you killed the real deal." "You all knew that we were coming to the sand," Sasori said. "That's right, I had a feeling that you guys would come after Gaara sooner or later. And after we found out about that mind control thing that you placed on Yura, it was rather easy to trick you all," said Kitsune. "And yeah, there is something I was kind of not sure about, but now I'm sure. There is only one missing nin from the sand, an S-rank nin." As Kitsune take out a bingo book as he flipped through it. "Isn't that right, Sasori?" "Well, Sasori of the Red Sand. So you know who I am. It doesn't matter. You made a big mistake coming here," said Sasori. "I think you guys have that backwards. The only reason I lead you here to prevent the villagers getting in any hurt or any damage. You too made the big mistake of coming here." Deidara then grinned as he took clay from his pouch as his mouth was already chewing. "So what if we fail in capturing the one tail? We have a better target right in front of us." "That is right, we have been given orders to capture you, Kitsune Flash," If we ever run into you, you are a Jinchuriki after all, said Sasori. Kitsune grinned as he looked at his both teammates as they prepared themselves to fight. Back at the Hokage Tower in Konoha, Tsunade entered her office holding a big bottle of sake. As Shizune followed right behind her, Tsunade, are you sure buying that big bottle of sake was the right thing to do? Of course it was the right thing to do, Shizune. This is an emergency. I am so stressed and I will have a headache as the size of the fire country in any moment. The only thing that can get rid of my stress is this bottle of sake. Shizune sighed. The sake was very expensive. She wasted so much money and she still had a lot of debt. Tsunade then opened the bottle as she got a glass ready to pour it. As she poured and raised it up, but she didn't get to, as Jiraiya appeared through the window jumping in the room, surprising both of them. Tsunade got pissed while glaring daggers at her close friend. Damn it, why don't you just take the door? She asked. However, she got rid of her anger when she saw the expression on Jiraiya's face. Jiraiya had a very serious expression on his face. Since she knew him, and it was a very long time now, she has never seen this expression yet. Hey Jiraiya, are you okay? Tsunade asked. Jiraiya, said Shizune, worried about him as well. Tsunade, we need to talk, as his voice was kind of serious and frantic, making the both of them worried about him. What's wrong? Tsunade asked. As she noticed his hands, he was trembling. Dear God, what in the world happened to you? I am fine really, but I need to talk to you about something very urgent. Something very important. Jiraiya finally composed himself, but he was still feeling frantic. What the hell is so important? Tsunade asked, as she was worried about the answer herself. Jiraiya took a deep breath as he stopped trembling and calmed himself. Tsunade was now worried sick, as the last time she saw him like this was when the fourth Hokage died. He then made eye contact with her, as she could tell that it was very urgent. Jiraiya, tell me what you want to tell me, she said. He took a while as he tried to get the words out of his mouth, as Tsunade was getting annoyed and a bit impatient with his attitude. Jiraiya, what's wrong? Shizune said. Tsunade, I must tell you something really important, he said over again. What is it? Tsunade asked, as now she was more than a bit annoyed. You must know, it is very important. I can't believe it. Tsunade growled. Damn it, Jiraiya, what is it already? She asked him in an angry tone. As he looked up at them, Kushina Uzumaki is alive. There was a crash as the sound of the expensive bottle of sake that Tsunade bought hit the ground. As Shizune remained quiet, she didn't know much about the situation, but that woman has the same last name as Naruto's. It was like everything was frozen to a point that they were all lost in their thoughts. What? Tsunade asked as she tried to get over her shock. What did you just say? As he looked at her and nodded. Kushina, Naruto's mother, she's still alive. Tsunade looked at him as she knew he wasn't kidding. He wouldn't tell a joke like this, and his face was serious to the point. As she gazed down at her bottle of sake that broke. Damn it, it's gonna be one of those days. Shizune, get me a bottle of sake. Yes, Tsunade, said Shizune as she turned to leave. Wait, said Tsunade. Make it 6 bottles of sake. I am really going to need it. Shizune gasped. 6 bottles, my lady? Now! Tsunade screamed out, as Shizune ran out of the office with her pet pig Tauntaun following her. Tsunade then walked over to her desk as she sat down and looked at Jiraiya. Alright, just tell me how in the world, how exactly is Kushina Uzumaki alive? But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also go ahead and check out what if Naruto was the next sage of Six Path? I posted a new episode on my second channel, so go ahead and enjoy. And I also posted another episode of what if Naruto got a new bloodline, so go ahead and check that out and enjoy as well. And after this I'm gonna be doing what if Naruto was Natsuki, so stay in tune and enjoy that. But for now, I'm out. Peace.